Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to look at the world around you in a way you might have never thought about before, breaking down the hidden systems that connect every single living thing. It sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? But the answer is actually super simple. The one thing they all have in common, they each exist inside their own specific environment. And understanding that, well, that's the key to understanding everything else. So to really get this, we've got to start with the absolute basics, your environment. Now, this might sound simple, but it's a huge concept. Your environment isn't just, the trees and animals. It's everything. The air you're breathing right now, the sunlight coming through the window, the ground beneath your feet. It's all part of it. And think about how specific these places are, right? For a fish, its entire world is water. For a tiger, it's the forest. And for us, it's the cities and towns we build. Each one is like a perfect little bubble for the life inside it. Okay, so if the environment is the stage, what happens when all the actors on that stage start interacting with each other? Well, that's where the magic happens. That's when you get an ecosystem.
And the key word here, the most important word, is interaction. See, an ecosystem isn't just a collection of stuff in a place. It's a living, breathing system where every little thing affects everything else. A forest, a desert, even a tiny puddle, they're all buzzing with these connections.
All right, so to really get how these systems tick, we got to meet the team. And every single ecosystem, I don't care if it's the entire ocean or a little pond in your backyard, has two main types of players. On one side, you've got the biotic components. That's all the living stuff, plants, animals, fungi, you name it. And on the other side, you have the abiotic, basically the non-living stuff. And here's the kicker. You absolutely cannot have one without the other. It just doesn't work. All the living things totally depend on the non-living things, like water and sunshine, just to exist. Okay, let's zoom in on Team Biotic for a second, because it's not just a free-for-all of plants and animals. Nope. Everybody has a specific job to do, and it all revolves around one thing: energy. So this team is basically broken down into three main gigs. You've got your producers, they're the chefs making the food. You've got your consumers, they're the ones eating it. And then you have the decomposers, they're like the cleanup crew. Let's break down what each one does. First up, the producers. You got to understand, these guys are the foundation of everything. We're mostly talking about plants here. They are the master chefs of the natural world, taking super simple ingredients like sunlight and water and whipping them into energy that literally everyone else can use. All right, next up, the consumers. This group is easy to remember because it includes pretty much every animal. Yep, that includes us. See, consumers can't make their own food, so they've got to get their energy the old-fashioned way, by eating other living things. But as you're about to see, they don't all have the same diet. And this is how it breaks down. You've got your herbivores, your plant eaters like rabbits and goats. Then there are the carnivores, the meat eaters, think lions and sharks. And then you've got the omnivores, who eat both plants and animals. That's us. It's a pretty neat way to map out who's eating what. And last but definitely not least, we have the unsung heroes of the entire system, the decomposers. We're talking about stuff like bacteria and fungi. These guys are the ultimate cleanup crew. They break down everything that's died, making sure not a single drop of energy or nutrient goes to waste. They are the recyclers of the planet, and they are absolutely crucial. So we've got all these players, right? The producers, the consumers, the decomposers. How does it all actually work? Well, it boils down to one simple question: who eats whom? And that brings us to the food chain, but it's about so much more than just who's on the menu. A food chain is basically a map that shows us how energy moves from one living thing to another. It's the story of energy transfer. Okay, check out this classic example. It all starts with a plant, a producer, soaking up energy from the sun. Then a grasshopper comes along and eats the plant. Boom, the energy is transferred. Then a rat eats the grasshopper, energy moves again. And finally, an owl swoops down and eats the rat. Think about that. The energy that started in the sun, captured by a little plant, just powered a magnificent owl. How cool is that? So when you step back from these single food chains and look at the whole picture, you start to see something incredible. It's not just chaos, it's this perfectly tuned, self-sustaining system. A true balancing act. And what powers this whole incredible machine? It has one single engine, and it all starts with the sun. It is the ultimate source of power for pretty much every ecosystem on our planet. And check out how perfect this balance is. Step 1, the plants, our producers.
They grab that sunlight and they take in carbon dioxide. And while they're making food for themselves, they release a little gift for the rest of us, oxygen.
Step 2. All the animals, the consumers, they need that oxygen to live. They breathe it in, and it powers their bodies, letting them do, well, everything. And then, step 3. As the animals breathe out, what do they release? Carbon dioxide, which is the exact thing the plants needed way back in step 1. It is a perfect, beautiful loop. That right there is a balanced ecosystem in action.